We do these workshops once a month, once every 6 weeks or so. These are designed on topics that are of interest to our patients. And summertime, so we all know what is of interest right now is getting out there for the 4th of July, relaxing and having a good time. But the Summer Shape Workshop tonight is going to be based off of a lot of nutrition and fitness protocols that we teach here in the office. I'll go over the 5 essentials with you and give you just a lot of basic, a lot of good information, a lot of basic information, just some things you can do to make some good changes into your life. So with that being said, it's a very open forum. Don't leave me hanging up here. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them at me. But let's get started. So let's get a baseline of where we're at today, just as an overall whole of why fitness becomes such an obstacle for some people, why we need to get there. We're the second most obese country currently in the world. So number 2 out of how many countries, I don't know even how many exist. We are number 2. 1/3 of America's youth they're unfit to even go into the military. Not 68% of adults are overweight or obese. That's almost 7 out of 10. And if we think about how does that play a role in when we get sick, as a nation, we're sicker than we've ever been before. We're not very healthy, and that's not good. When we get older, we're expected, we're working all these hours, working hard, overtime, paying the bills, and we're thinking that we're going to retire to this great cruise ship, right? A lot of us, unfortunately, end up in that nursing home. So we're taking a bunch of prescription drugs. We're taking more than ever. We take, currently, I believe it's 72% of the world's pharmaceuticals are taken here in this country. They make up 5% of the population. We take 92% of the world's antidepressants. 99% of the Vicodin is taken here in this country. Once again, 5% of the population. So that's the outside-in approach to health. We have high blood pressure, we have high cholesterol, we have diabetes, we have cancer, whatever it might be, that we're taking something to mask that symptom or get that symptom to a lower level, but not making any lifestyle changes. So what we want to do tonight is really focus on how we can make some lifestyle changes to change those numbers. So how do we get in shape? So the first part here is capability of the body distributing inhaled oxygen. So what does that mean? So we exercise, we're going hard. What happens when we exercise? We sweat, we breathe harder, we're taking in more oxygen. So if any of you have ever been to my cancer workshop before, what's the one muscle, technically organ, if you will, that does not get cancer very limited portions of the time? The heart. Okay. So think about that. Now kind of go back. So what's the heart doing? It's pumping a lot of oxygenated blood, right? So that's why it's very, very odd or just infrequent where the heart becomes cancerous. Not to say that it can't happen, it just does not happen very often at all. So how can we spike up? We have to get oxygen to the rest of our body through aerobic exercise, let's call it anaerobic exercise. The more oxygen you can get in, the better off you're going to be in regards to your overall health. We're going to work on how you can get there in a faster amount of time. So the 5 essentials we're going to touch on tonight. So the first one, first and foremost, essential one is maximize mind. It can be Tony Robbins up here, a great motivational speaker. It can be Bill Cowher, the ex-Steelers head coach. It does not matter who's up here talking. If your mindset is not ready to change, it's just going to be another workshop for you. It's just going to be another hour you spent learning some good information. So your mind has to be right to change. That's the first thing we're going to work on. Number 2 is maximizing your nerve supply. We're going to touch on this specifically of what you can do to improve your central nervous system, which controls every single function in your body. The nutrients you put in your body. If you're leaving here, you're eating a lot of fast food, you're not meal planning, you're putting in a lot of junk, a lot of sugar, a lot of simple carbohydrates, there's no way you're going to expect your body to be healthy. You may not have symptoms now, but if you're not putting in good nutrients, I promise you that bill will come due. And whenever it comes due, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but eventually it will come. We look at oxygen and lean muscle. That's going to be through our fitness protocols we're going to spend a lot of time on tonight. And then toxicity. And we're going to talk about the next workshop on toxicity. So, exercising your mind. The first part with that maximized mindset. If anyone's on an antidepressant, one of the best things you can do, exercise is the best natural antidepressant. What it does is it spikes up. You have these chemicals that get released. I call them the happy hormones. So the hormones that if you're having a good day, everything's going your way, there's a lot of happy hormones going on. So those are endorphins that get released in your brain. The natural way to release those is through exercise, not by taking a pill. What antidepressant drugs do is they can help actually spike those hormones up, but they're doing it in a synthetic fashion. So if you can do it naturally, one of the best ways you can do it, so if you're trying to beat depression, one of the best things you do is get out there and exercise. All right, so here's the mindset. How many of us, so if you change the way you're thinking, how many of us are right here? You don't have to raise your hand, you can just kind of read them. We wake up, I hate my body, I'm just not happy with where I'm at. I see my cousin, my best friend, and we compare ourselves to others. We're in the comparison nation. We compare ourselves to the neighbors, we compare ourselves to our best friend, we compare ourselves to other family members. So, and then I'm too lazy to exercise. I'm not a healthy person. So there's a book that I love, and it's by Napoleon Hill, and it was written way back in the 1900s. It's called Think and Grow Rich. Has anyone ever heard of that book? So it's an awesome read, very good read. So it's a financial book. How they kind of it's based a lot off of the law of attraction. But it's a great book. It's a great read. But what it really goes into is if your mindset is set to where you want it to be, then you can achieve anything you want. But if you have this mindset over here, you're setting yourself up for failure. It doesn't matter what you do. If you have this negative onset, this negative self-talk that we all have a little bit. We have that little person in our head saying, "I don't deserve that. I don't believe I should be there." We all have that just little thing that goes in. There's not really a good name we can put it besides just the devil, if you will, just kind of talking to you. So what you can do, you change the way you think, and this doesn't happen overnight. So in our household, I have goals. I go through goals, and Nikki, we go through goals, and in the office we go. June, we have goals we set. We have goals that we look to achieve. I have personal goals. We have goals in here that we try to do, and we read those goals. Because if you put those goals out there, then you're going to have a much better chance of success. What they show is that only roughly about 30% of the people write their goals down, and the 15 most successful people, not even just in economically speaking or in society, but overall health, only 15% of those people read those every single day. So if your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to avoid a surgery, get off 4 medications, if you write those goals down and read those on a consistent basis, then what are you doing? You're changing this negative self-talk, you're turning it into positive self-talk, and then what you do is repeat that every morning. You do that for 30 days. It takes 21 days to break a habit. Has anyone ever heard that before? So 21 days to break a habit. So habits are formed. If you're a smoker, you're trying to quit smoking tomorrow, not going to be the easiest thing for you to do. But if you're doing it and you spend time on it, 21 days to break a good habit, or a bad habit, I should say. Here's some myths we get. We've heard of these before. Number 1, exercise hurts. I can't exercise, it hurts. My dad's a prime example of this. He's going through our nutrition protocols now. He's losing a bunch of weight. But now, exercise hurts. Well, now he's actually exercising now, and what's he saying? It's actually reducing my lower back pain. It's reducing my knee pain. Exercise, the truth is it reduces pain and arthritis. Number 2 is you don't have time to exercise. Classic cardio, I would agree with you. We have a hard time getting an hour to an hour and a half out there to exercise. Well, guess what? You can get out there in 12 to 15 minutes and exercise. We can take that right out of the equation. And the third one is that I cannot afford the equipment. I cannot afford a gym membership. The exercise programs and the essentials we teach, you can do these anywhere. You can do these at the house. If you travel around the country for work, you can do these in the hotel room. You can do these literally anywhere. So that takes all the 3, the biggest lies that are out there. We just cut all those, and those are the real truths behind them. If you're trying to get results, I don't have a simple answer for you tonight. I wish I did. I wish I could say, here's the pill. Here, take this every day and you're going to lose 30 pounds. I think Dr. Oz just got in trouble for doing that. So it's time. It's effort. There's no quick fix. Okay, quick fixes, they're called fad diets. Fad diets work for a reason. The Atkins diet, Nutrisystem, they work for a reason because 80% of people, they work when they're on them, and then when they get off them, what happens? The weight comes back on, right? So it's a lifestyle change. what they find is that without there being a miracle pill, so not with everyone who's losing weight consistently, 98% of them modified their food intake, 90% exercise daily. That doesn't have to be the rigorous exercise like we're going to go through tonight. It's going to be some form, whether it's a yoga, a Pilates, a Tai Chi, some form of flexibility exercise. And what that in turn will do, once again, this is going to break you down, and it's going to allow you to mentally change not only those endorphins we're talking about, it's going to mentally put you in the scope where we want you to be, losing weight over a period of time. Not just losing weight, maintaining weight. We're talking about all the other health benefits you have from exercise consistently. Having your game plan. So the first thing you have here, you have these booklets here, getting into summer shape. So this booklet, the challenge is going to start July 1st, which is tomorrow, believe it or not. So the first part of this is accountability. Do this with somebody. Okay? When you start to make changes, you're going to have a better chance of success when you're not going at it on your own. So if you're down and having a bad day, your accountability partner says, hey, you know what? You need to get out there and do our thing today. Or if your nutrition's dropping by the wayside, and hey, I've been out to eat twice this week. I'm not going out again this week. I need to stay in. And I need to make sure I'm getting good nutrients in my body. Accountability partners are great for this. What they also find is that if you don't plan for things to change, then really the chances of success also fail. So how do you plan to eat well? Well, it takes meal planning. So we have Sunday, at my house we do Sunday cook days. It's 2 hours a day, or 2 hours a week. Are they fun? No. Who wants to spend 2 hours in the kitchen on a Sunday? But it's meal planning. So Wednesday afternoon, I'm not at 11:30 before I'm going on lunch at noon. I'm not worried about what I'm eating for lunch because I already figured it out Sunday. So we'll cook 3 or 4 dishes, then we'll Tupperware them up, and then we'll cut them in pieces or whatever, put them in Tupperware, and then that's our lunches Monday through Friday. And now do we go out occasionally for lunches? Of course. We go to dinners, of course. But it can't be. You cannot be living the opposite way all the time. So meal planning is a big one. If you can marry this principle to meal planning, you're going to save money. It's a heck of a lot more economical. It's a lot healthier for you, and it's fun. Over time, you get this done. It's just like walking the dog. It's just another chore you have to do on a Sunday. Goal setting, we touched on this, then accountability as well. Those are the 3 things to success. You do these, and you do these consistency. Now you have a plan. If you don't have any of this going into it, now you're just trying to wing it, you might get somewhere initially 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, but 6 months from now, we ask you where you're at, you're pretty much back to where you started. That's about mine of the time. So classic cardio. So I love this part. So my background's in my undergrad's in exercise.